I say thank you to those who drove across the state lines just to buy from us and support our small businesses. I want to thank you for also my neighbors for bringing food so we can provide those trapped in their houses and unable to walk or go out from their community because they fear being catched and thrown to the jail. I also want to thank you for the thoughtfulness for bringing dates and water so Somali communities are able to break their first Ramadan with dignity, because Ramadan is not the same this year for us. I also wanted to thank my brothers and sisters, Somali brothers and sisters. I know Ramadan is hard for you, but you are the bravest people I know. You survived civil wars, and hang in there. You can go through this one. Also, but that's not it. We must repair the damage by making sure that this is for our governors, for our state, and for our legislators. We want to make sure that the existing relief programs fits into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make $200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community. ICE out, families in.
ICE out.
ICE out, small business in.
ICE out, small business in.
ICE out, justice in.
Yo, now they're sitting there telling us that the American citizens, and they require for them to actually provide reparations for them committing fraud and for the Trump administration taking a stern approach to removing illegal migrants out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. You have Somalis, now that Tom Homan and ICE is starting to remove themselves from Minneapolis, you have them coming in saying ICE out, but we also want the governor and the Trump administration to provide them with relief. Now, remember, a lot of this came about because Nick Shirley started to expose the fraud that was happening within the communities and that the Biden administration neglected to address because he was too busy allowing for illegal migrants to come into this country without no kind of resistance whatsoever. They was just coming over hand over fist and it wasn't any problem. Then you had the Somali community that felt compelled to rub it in people's faces and say, hey, listen, we don't really care about how y'all feel. We believe that Minneapolis is our birthright. And then this woman comes up, read a prompt, and tells you that ICE out, we want our reparations. They want reparations. And they might even get it because you know how it is. Anybody that's illegal in this country, if you live in a blue state or a blue city, they're probably going to make sure that they take care of you.
The Somalian community up in Minneapolis, Minnesota is demanding $200 million in reparations.
And in the meantime, what are the Democrats offering you in the meantime? I got to say, ladies and gentlemen, they are not sending their best. Omar Fateh was Ilhan Omar's candidate for mayor of Mogadishu. What? I mean Minneapolis. Little Freudian slip there.
J.D. Vance shuts down the Democrats calling for reparations.
I think it's absurd for people to say, we want reparations. Reparations for what? I, on behalf of the American people, would like reparations from them for allowing Somali fraudsters to steal billions of dollars from the American taxpayer that live in Minnesota.
I think he's right.
You know, as if several $billion in fraud isn't enough, the Somalian community in Minneapolis is demanding more.
Small business owners, not those who make $200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
You know, you got to be kidding me. The Somalian community have some nerve to stand there with their purses open, demanding more money. Reparations, you could say. I mean, haven't the American taxpayer paid enough? I mean, your being in this country is your reparation. This whole press conference is blasphemy. I mean, who do you think keep you pirates in butter and brickle? And then you hold a rally and this is your spokesperson, a person with an IQ of 40? And who the hell did you have lose their lives? I mean, at the end of the day, you had white liberal women out there acting as terrorists trying to stop ICE from doing their jobs. I didn't see any of you mummy-faced Durkas out there fighting with those crazy liberals as they tried to obstruct ICE, all in the name of protecting you. No. While white liberals was out there committing jihad against the ICE agents, you guys were somewhere hiding, stealing.
This story sounds unreal at first, but it is happening right now. A group of Somali migrants in the US are calling for reparations, and when Senator J.D. Vance was asked about it, his response set off a firestorm. What makes this different from every other immigration debate is who is asking, what they are asking for, and what it could mean if this becomes the new standard. Stay with me, the details matters. Let's watch the clip and then I'll come back with more comments.
So y'all mean to tell me that the Somalis are now demanding reparations because of ICE? Are you for real? Are you serious? Because let me tell you something. That is the greatest way to start a civil war. Give them reparations if you want to. And the black community being promised reparations from the Democratic Party since what, the past 160 years basically? Like, be for real. Be for real. It's the audacity for me. You have the audacity to come to my country, to steal from me, and then demand reparations when you have literally done nothing. At least black people got a case when they asked for reparations because they were brought here on their own. They didn't come on their own. They were brought here and they had to build this country for free. Okay? They were slaves. Okay? And we couldn't even get reparations, but y'all demanded reparations because y'all feelings is hurt, because y'all got caught stealing. Like, dude, baby, let me tell you something. This is really pissing me off. It's the audacity. And then you have a press conference to announce that you want reparations. Are you cool? Are you cool? Bro, if they don't round these mugs up and send them back to where they came from so they can have a greater appreciation for America, that's going to be a problem. That's what needs to happen. They need to go back to where they came from so they can realize just how good they got it here and stop reparations. I don't think I'm going to ever get over this. I don't think I'm going to ever get over the fact that the Somalis are asking for reparations. I will never get over this. That's a problem. That is a whole problem. And the real problem is, you liberal white people, y'all letting them. Y'all letting them feel like they got the power and authority and they're entitled to it. Y'all letting them feel like that. Give Somalians reparations, and that's going to indeed start a civil war.
This group of immigrants in the United States publicly demanding reparations, and the response from J.D. Vance was anything but subtle. And depending on how you look at it, this debate raises some very uncomfortable questions about immigration, responsibility, and what reparation actually mean. Over the past few days, clips have been circulating online showing members of the Somali community in Minnesota speaking at public events and conferences. So in these clips, speakers argue that immigration enforcement actions, particularly involving ICE, have caused trauma and hardship, and that financial compensation should be considered. So supporters say this is about accountability and human impact. Critics argue this goes far beyond asylum or refugee assistance and enters entirely new territory.
So, in Minnesota, some suburban mayors are saying that businesses are hurting or struggling because of the ICE situation. They're claiming that people are scared to go out, so small businesses and restaurants are losing customers. Some restaurants say they're down 30 to 40% in sales. And the mayor's also saying and complaining that they've spent extra money on police. So now they're asking the state to help cover those extra costs and also the extra costs to support the small businesses. Not only that, some members of the Somali committee are asking for reparations. Yes, they're asking for reparations. They said that their businesses has been hurting because of ICE. They want the state to cover those damages. They're asking Tim Watts to fix it. And of course, he hasn't responded. You know what they say, Minnesota? Go woke and go broke.
What's notable here is not the emotional argument, it's the language being used. The one reparations carries a very specific historical and political meaning in the United States. So traditionally, reparations debates have focused on government responsibility for past domestic policies. So this situation is actually different. It involves migrants requesting compensation from the very country that accepted them. And that distinction is where this conversation gets heated.
Fits into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make 200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
So let's talk about Senator J.D. Vance's response. So when asked about this issue, Senator J.D. Vance did not mince words. His argument was simple. America cannot function if immigration policy turns into an open-ended financial obligation. So he also framed the issue as one of fairness, not just to taxpayers, but to legal immigrants who followed the rules and received no such compensation. So he also warned that expanding reparations beyond historical injustices could fundamentally change how immigration is viewed, from opportunity to entitlement. You see, this debate isn't really about one community or even one politician. It's about a much bigger question. What does a nation owe to people it admits? And where does that obligation end? If compensation is tied to emotional or even psychological harm, who decides the standards? And once that door is opened, does it ever cross? These are the questions that really are lingering in people's minds. And maybe I would love to hear your opinion on the comments section. Reasonable people can disagree here. Some see these demands as a cry for help. Others see them as an unrealistic expectation placed on taxpayers. But one thing is clear. This conversation isn't going away, and it's going to shape future immigration debates, whether people like it or not. So, let's engage on the comment section and let me know what you think. And please keep it respectful. I have a question. Do you believe reparations should ever be applied in immigration cases, or this is a line that shouldn't be crossed? If you found this breakdown useful, thank you so much for watching up to this particular point. Join our family by hitting the subscribe button, like the video, and tell me what you think on the comment section. And kindly remember to keep it respectful. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.